What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. It is episode number 26, returning today with the second episode of Season 4 on the back of 5 new signings to start the new season off and the opening day draw away at Kenilworth. No! Yes. Why did I just say no? Yes, at Kenilworth Road against Luton Town. Heading into today's episode, I don't know why I did that. Heading into today's episode, more games in the league, transfer deadline day. We still might make a new signing as well. And one of my favourite parts of an RTG, first ever draw for a European, not group stage now, but league phase. Just keeping you on your toes there with that no. Didn't expect that. What's Doxy Boy reacting to there? What's he just seeing outside his window? What's he just seen? One magpie instead of two? Did he just drop his cup of tea? Why did he shout no like that? I guess we'll never know. So yeah, 50 mil in the budget, obviously because of the monster transfer budget we were given. I would say we probably do need a third choice striker. I mean, if Washington or Delap go down, we spent time playing Gibbs Wide up there. We spent time playing Koleosha up there. We spent time playing Jack Clark up there. But I think a new third choice striker is where I will be looking. And especially on the back of the draw on the opening day, failing to get a goal. Yeah, I think that's probably where we'll be looking. We are starting off a bid for Cameron Humphreys though. Wanted by Coventry. Loan deal. But again, we need him for the homegrown ruling. So he's going nowhere. And just before our first game against Leeds as well. What about this? I did say Jack Clark, I would not be against selling him this season, now in his mid-20s. But the team that want him are now in the challenge of Crystal Palace. If it's like a mid-table Premier League side, I'd probably accept it. But I couldn't see him taking a step back going down to the Championship, where he's clearly Premier League level. Right, let's jump into the first game of the episode today. It is indeed our first at Portman Road, whereas we know we are so much better. And that's why the disappointing draw on the open day to Luton at Kenilworth Road wasn't something I was going to be too gutted about, because it's a familiar story. Ipswich Town don't travel well, but we normally win our home games against anyone. Let's prove that's still the case here in Season 4. Leeds in East Anglia. Come on, Ipswich Town. Mudrick to Delap. I've got Gibbs White on the edge. Go on, Leaf, have a dig. Oh, easy save really for Melly, yeah. Yeah, opening day, goalless draw. Not the start we wanted against the newly promoted side. But again, here at Portman Road we are normally so much better. Ironically, we did lose to Leeds here last season on the final game of the campaign. That actually gave them survival as well, so... Leeds, for me, they're a bit of a bogey team. You know, everyone's got a bogey team. Everyone's got a bogey team, a team that they normally really struggle against. For me, it's Leeds. I always find them such a tough team to face. Yeah, for me, like they're very rarely not in the Premier League. You know, it's Delap goes down. That's not the start we knew. We definitely are going to buy a new striker today with Delap going down, and probably for longer than just a 5-day bruise. And Tice Delinga, who I did have last year in a Fulham career mode, who was sensational, probably won't be coming to me, but he has scored against me. Leeds are just my bogey team. You know, I've had a few over the years. You know, Wolves, Everton, Aston Villa, but I think in the recent 2 or 3 years, it's Leeds. I find them so hard to beat. So difficult to play against, man. 1-0 down early. This is a terrible start to the season. Delinga has his pass cut out, and O'Brien dispossessed. It's going to be 2. It's going to be 2. Calling it now. Do you know when I said that budget we got? Oh, I'm not going to spend all of it. Let me go back on my word, man. I am going to spend all of it, because I need a new striker. We're in trouble. I should have joined Inter Milan last season. No. Come on, don't be thinking about that, man. Seriously. We've led Ipswich Town to the Champions League. Come on. Like, don't start thinking about, I should have left. Because you never know what could have happened, man. And you didn't. You're in this situation, so make the best of it, man. Washington fires wide, and we still are yet to get our first goal this season. It's got to come soon. We often say it, man. You don't want to leave it too long. Because the longer it goes on, the more you start to wonder, will you ever get it? Gibbs White wide, and we're still down 2. Yeah, don't ask me where all that money came from at the start of the season. Just let me spend it. You know, I'll worry about the ramifications of FFP afterwards. But seriously, we are in trouble, man. Like this is an awful start to the season. And don't get me wrong, I wasn't expecting to have back-to-back wins and back-to-back big wins. But I was expecting at least 1 win, and I was expecting at least 1 goal. This is quite humiliating, I'd say, for a team that last year were in a title race. This season, the board has said you've got to finish top 4 again. On the basis of this start, or are we lucky to be top 10? Well, new striker, we need one now. How bad was the injury for the lap as well? It's not. It should be right there, but it's not. See, this is what annoys me with EA. It's like task list 3. Where's the new email to let me know about the lapse injury? Surely my number 1 task should be check on the player, don't you think? But it's not even there. And nope, there it is, broken toe. That's it. We're getting a striker now. I was thinking we could wait, play it by ear until deadline date. No, the lap done for 3 months. We're getting one now. In terms of new strikers to go for, several on the shortlist, including a couple that got relegated last season with Bournemouth and Crystal Palace as well. And to be honest, out of both of them here, Adley's back in the top tier with Burnley. The one I really want is the younger and the better, and that is Marcos Leonardo, of course, leaving to the Saudi Pro League at a young age, now back in European football in the same with Bournemouth, relegated last season. This dude, as we know, is absolutely lightning quick, and he can jump as well, and a great poacher too, with class finishing already at 90 at just 24 years old, and he's probably still at his prime yet as well, and I imagine he's still got a couple of ratings to grow. He's the one I want, but I think he might be just, and I mean just slightly, out of our budget. Let's give it a go though and see if we can pull this off. I would argue what we'll need to do is swap out a player and possibly even add a sell-on clause as well. I mean, he's that good. I think we're going to have to break the bank to bring him in. So there's several players we can offer. I'll probably say Bay is the most likely one. Hasn't really been healthy since he's been here. He's shown flashes of brilliance, but just hasn't really been healthy to get consistent game time. And I'd say with his rating right now, 24 years old, probably what you call a solid championship player. And the only thing is Bournemouth were relegated, so they shouldn't really be able to hold us to ransom, but we just never know with career mode. The most we could offer is probably this, £47.5 million, and even that might not be enough considering the wages and the sign-on bonus. So we'll do 47 mil plus Bay. That's 1.5 mil under the market valuation combined, but I think Bournemouth are going to laugh me out the door, which they are indeed. I've got absolutely no chance. Well, okay then, there we go. That's one down. And there's 2 others we could go. Well, there's about 4 others we could go for, really. But the only 2 other was the ones I really want. Adley with Burnley, who has fired them back to the Premier League. But also Balogun as well. Yep, Adley is back in the big time with Burnley after their season in the Championship last year. And physically, he's absolutely phenomenal. Jumping 92. Pacey, agile, mentally solid, and again, technically as well. 83 finishing, maybe not quite as good as Leonardo's, but still really good. But also, I love the 88 ball control and 84 short pass. Really handy when we're trying to have a strike partner and not just a spearhead as well. Both he and Follerine, yeah, they're not too dissimilar, really. But I'm going to see what Burnley want for Adley first. I would say if we can get him for, again, around market valuation, that would be a good deal. Oh, I wonder, maybe we could actually swap them, Jack Clark, and then try and take the transfer fee down quite a bit as well, because I do like Jack Clark, but again, I don't know if he'll ever be the player he was in our Bournemouth and Liverpool career mode. 3 years here, he's never been that great, at least not consistently, and I'd want at least one backup winger. We'd still have one in Bay as well. It's not a terrible shout, you know. It's not a terrible shout. I might just do it. Because that we've still got a bit of money remaining, and I do want to have a little bit to carry over until January as well. Let's do it then. 25 mil plus Jack Clark. He's not a starter here, but he would be at Burnley. Okay, man, clubs know we are desperate for a striker, and they are holding us to ransom. Fair play, it's what you call supply and demand, you know, it's basic economics. I respect it. I'm annoyed about it, but I respect it. But then again, Burnley actually say, do you know what, no, let me go back on that. £40 million, and I think I might choose Adley over Follerine. Yeah, Follerine has great stats as well. And with Palace being relegated last season, would probably make a bit more sense. But the thing that worries me about him is the low stamina. And you know, we are a high energy team, and it means if he's getting tired at around 60-65 minutes, I don't want to have to take him off at that kind of stage there, knowing with Delap injured right now, we won't have a third choice striker to bring on. I could offer them Bay. I could say, do you fancy the South Korean winger? Again, championship level, I'd say, plus a little bit of money. And again, there'd still be some to carry over to the January window. But I'm not sure Palace will be okay with that. Actually, they are. Oh, but now I want to keep Bay. now I don't want to let him go. Let me take that out. And I'm going to remove the sell-on clause too. And I will just pay a straight valuation bid for the youngster. I can't remember if he was born in England and represents America, or whether he... oh, well, it's not going to matter now. Or he was born in America, came to England, and still represents America. But whatever the case may be, we're not getting him. 34.5 mil, Palace not interested. The big problem we got is that Amin is being paid a lot at Burnley right now. 93 grand a week. So I need him to take a pay cut, no doubt about that. Again, I do like him as a left striker alongside Washington. I think it'd be a really solid partnership. I've never used him before either. I have used Balogun before, so it'd be nice to use someone I've never had any experience with. And wow, when I said I wanted to take a pay cut, I didn't think it was going to be that much, but fair enough. To be fair, I was thinking around 70, 75. I'd say it's quite realistic, but yeah, do you know what? I don't think it'd take that much of a pay cut in real life, but to go and play Champions League football, you know, I think we've got a much higher chance of staying up than Burnley, even though, obviously, we've got off to a terrible start. I still think 70 to 75 grand a week would be fair. It's not an astronomical amount of money as well in Monday football either. Plus a quarter of a mil sign bonus. I'd say that's quite fair on a 5-year contract. Okay, fair enough. I can still get it down to 75. I'm pretty confident in that. Don't think I've got to pay the extra 1 grand a week. And they say, yeah, 75 grand a week, 5-year deal, I'll take it. Yep, as much of a creator as a goal scorer. In this 4-2-4, that's probably what we're looking for alongside Delap or Washington, who will start next to with Liam currently down. Never used him before, so really excited to give him a go. And hopefully he will be just as good as these stats seem to suggest. Yeah, welcome to Portman Road. Amin Adli stayed in the Championship last year with Burnley. I could have picked him up last season. I decided against it. And obviously I'm glad I didn't after finishing top 4. But for this season, well, I knew we were going to need a new striker as a third choice. In the end, I've probably got a new first choice. Stats are fantastic as well. Really, really awesome physicals. Technically sublime with the ball at his feet, creating and finishing as well. And he's got the 4-star skill moves, which is really nice as well. I have to say, I'm buzzing with his signing. Still getting slightly better as well. Could possibly get him into the mid-80s too. If I improve that weak foot and strength, and hopefully get his finishing slightly better as well. He's only 5'9", but I think this guy's going to be a great hold-up, creator, and finisher too. Jack of all trades. Yeah, he'll be thrown straight in with the injury to Liam. And again, being a left footer too, I feel like we can put him on the wing if we want to as well. He'll probably be just as good out there as well. This is a great signing for our style of play. And again, I think he and David could be a great complementary partnership as well. I'm buzzing with that. Might not be Marcus Leonardo, but he's certainly not a bad second choice. Okay then, alright. Let's jump into it then. Let's just go straight to it. Third game of the season, Spurs away in North London on the back of back-to-back games without a goal. And no wins so far. We need a big away day scout up here to kickstart our season, which hasn't got out of the blocks yet. Spurs in North London, second game today, third game of the campaign. If we can't win, let's at least just get a goal and avoid defeat. Come on, let's reach town. Lift out. There we go. Okay, hold it. There we go. Just can't get the chances at the moment. Really struggling to... Oh, go on. Create and get a shot away, you know, like that's the problem. It's not even a lack of finishing. It was on match day 1, but in the last game it was a lack of creativity, and the same with this one as well. Just not able to get inside. Come on, second half underway. I feel like I'm putting the effort in. I'm just not getting that last bit right. Like the build-ups from deep are good. The build-ups around the midway point are good, but the... Oh, Flynn! Last chances are going astray. Can't play the right through ball. Down centre for... Oh, come on. Oh, win it, Onana. Just... come on. You know, I'm not the type to get angry, man, but everyone's got their limit. Come on. Oh, he's alone. recycling possession because I just saw at the far post Amari completely alone, and there's this mantra that I love, which is try and pass up good for great. I possibly could have played it in for Washington there for a good shot, but if I recycle it back to the edge, I know that Amari, once the defense comes out, is going to be completely alone. Don't settle for good, go after great. In for Mudryk with the opener. Finally, we've got a goal. Yep, looking like the San Antonio Spurs in that 2014 championship winning season. Honestly, some of the best basketball I had ever watched. It was pure passing clinic. And in this game, sticking to the mantra of one extra pass, pass up good for great. Got it in the end. Hutchinson with a winner. Ipswich finally have a goal and a win as well. And so as that puts us through to deadline day, I really don't think we'll be doing anything. What we do have is the draw for the league phase, but I don't know how you would get it like you used to. And in fact, I've lost the news articles on the right hand side. But there's no kind of like draw anymore. This is I feel like for EA this is a miss in my opinion. Like that was something that we all looked forward to, you know, doing the draw, seeing who we got. But it's not in the game anymore because the fact they've taken out those graphics and just have those kind of like social media interactions, if you will. But we'll see who we'll be facing in the league phase, guys. Is there even is there even a way of... I mean, no, because you just have to look at it on the right-hand side, wouldn't you? It's... In the league phase, hasn't technically even been drawn. What? Well, no, because the playoffs have been done. And the fixtures are in the calendar. And yet I can't see the full league phase, so I can't see the full league teams. What? What is it? What's going on here? Like, EA, come on. I understand it's a new format, but what... How does that work? I don't know, but I can see who we've got anyway. It'll be Club Brugge in Belgium, Valencia at the Mestalla. Oh, AC Milan at home. Last year they were the finalists, losing to Leverkusen. Lyon away, Helsinki at home, and then our final one is Atletico Madrid away. Oh, and then we've got January. I forgot that January. Leipzig and Barca, two ridiculously tough games to end on, but... I've got to say, for all the things in modern football I've said before, there's so many great changes that I'm a massive fan of. This is not one of them. I do not know why UEFA did this. Well, 6 mil in the budget, but we're getting through deadline day very quickly indeed. We've made our signings 6 total for the new season, including new club records as well. But yeah, we're done for spending, and I trust the team. It's a slow start, man, but you can't always start off 100 miles an hour. You know, sometimes it is a tough and rocky entry to a new campaign. That's okay. That's all right. What do we always say? No matter how tough your start's been, there's plenty of time to turn the tide. You're jumping straight through deadline day. And I know what you might be thinking. Hang on a second, Doxy boy. Okay, the team's looking good, don't get me wrong, but why aren't you loaning out your youth players? You've given them pro deals. Why aren't you loaning them out? Honestly, I'm just a little bit worried that this year, for the first time playing in Europe, we might end up having a bit of an injury crisis. We've already got Liam down for 3 months, and if that's the case, with so many midweek games, we know this. If you're playing so many games across multiple competitions, you need a fixed squad. You need squad depth. We didn't need it in the first 3 years. We were only playing 38 league games, and we were knocked out of the cups early as well. But this year, I want a cup run, and I want, of course, to compete in Europe as well. If that's the case, we need a deep squad. So that's why I've not loaned out my youth players for this year. But the top deals on deadline day in the end were Karim Adeyemi to West Ham for 73.1 mil. Yeah, I could see that one day. Declan Rice off to Turin, finally leaving London, 70.1 mil. And Harry Kane has got his trophies at Bayern and is now off to Athletic Bilbao for 54.5 mil. First one I think could be quite realistic in a few years' time. Declan Rice leaving London, said before, I think that's one of the big reasons why he went to Arsenal and not Man City, to stay in the capital with his family. But okay, but the Kane deal... Let's not pay attention to it, man, honestly. Let's just move straight past it. Oh dear. Right, so there we go. And this is the thing, this is what I really want to see. Like when you look at the Champions League, like there's no it shows you that's not even our group. But like there's no kind of like graphic. I've seen some unrealistic transfers in my time. I think that might be the most unrealistic I've ever seen, you know. At 34, lest we forget. Why am I even saying the age? Like, that's the unrealistic part. It gets funny with every picture. This is why I often say, like, when it comes down to realism in career mode, you can do your absolute best, but you can't do anything about that sort of stuff. You know, you've just got to accept it. It is what it is. And there we go. So, yeah, as deadline day is over, the draw for the league phase has been made. We've got our first free scouting updates of the season. England, the Philippines, and Gabon. Let's see what we got. We're from England. I don't think anyone's going to make the academy from the very first month of scouting. As for the Philippines, looking for wingers this year from the Philippines. First time, of course, being a scoutable nation, which is just so cool. And, you know, we said, he could be quite good in Christian Ocampo. We'll do one more of scouting and see how he looks next month. But so we say it's one thing, like, I'm always very fair with EA. You might hear me criticise the game, like, right there, and rightfully so, but I'll give them credit as well. The amount of scoutable nations this year they've added in is class. And we know there's a problem with the name pool. We accept that, we understand that, and we hope EA work on it, but the amount of countries they've added, it's not like 5 or 6. It's tons of them, and it's so cool, man. It's so cool. There's not that many nations out there now that aren't scoutable. There's a few, yes, and a few notable omissions too, but I think it's brilliant from EA, and you got to give them credit for that. As I always say, very fair. Criticise them when they deserve it, and oftentimes that is the case, but sometimes you got to say fair play. I love how many new nations they are, and I'm going to have so much fun this year scouting them all, or trying to scout as many as I can. Right, let's do one more game to end on. I will stop short of our first game in the Champions League as well. Say that for the next one. Man City at home, starting the season off, heading into this. Well, as we know, rocky start for the Tractor Boys, but the perfect start for the champions. They've won it 9 of the past 10 years, with the 3 first ones of this save as well, and they're going for it once again. They're the dynasty, they're the dominant team, and we welcome them to Portman Road for our final game today. Going for our first points at home, and back-to-back wins as well against Guardiola's side. Come on, let's switch down. This has been a scrappy start to the season for the Tractor Boys. Even that win against Spurs was pretty what you call unconvincing, although it is a win regardless. And with European games coming next, I mean, you know, you can afford a slow start in a league campaign when there's 38 games. You can't afford one in Europe, you know, when there's only a handful. Oh, great footwork, Amari. How many times have we seen that? But we often say as well, like, the first is always the hardest. The first to get is always the hardest. So once you've got one, it's like a psychological weight's been lifted. Finally, you've notched one up, you know, and then you can build on that. What you can't afford to do is, when you finally got that win, is go back to your old patterns. Got to build on that as Washington's shot is blocked and cleared. Oh, no. From that as well, that's just poor. That's really poor. Defending, you get turned so quickly now when playing a high line as well. That's something I'm noticing a lot in this year's FC. It's like you can't just run full head of speed towards the ball carrier, because the AI's agility and balance is far better than it used to be. It used to be a bit of a common exploit as Phil does the panna strike through the legs of Barshin. It was a common exploit, like the AI had really poor agility and balance, so stepping past them was really easy on the flank. It doesn't work that way anymore. You can't just charge forward and playing a high line. You'll get punished. It's not the same as it used to be, you know. You can't charge in like a headless chicken to hunt the ball down, because when you're coming up against a striker with, you know, just a little bit of pace and agility, they're going to turn you, and once they're in front of you, or technically behind you, I guess, it's game over. O'Reilly denied by Bulker, but yeah, it's so much harder. It's amazing, you know. I said last year, hardest version of the franchise I'd ever played, and then came this one. It's even harder than it was last year. You do not get the luck anymore. There's no more exploits. It's such a difficult game. I've heard me talk many times about the dangers of going too quick and going too early. And I just wonder, as Marcin prevents us going 3-0 down, if that is the case by qualifying for that CL. Have we jumped too quickly, like I did back as a kid, breaking my arm and paying the price for being too eager when I wasn't ready? Maybe the Tractor Boys are in the same kind of position, because I can't compete right now. We are set for 1 win in 4 and already 2 losses as well. Morgan through the gap. Adley, great turn. And it's goal number 1 for his Ipswich Town career. That's what I signed him for, man. That agility, that footwork, but also a good finish on him as well. There's goal number 1 for our new man up top, but sadly, there's not going to be enough time to mount an epic fight back to come back from 2 goals down to claim a point. And it's nice to get another goal on the board after a poor start in front of goal. But it's still been an incredibly tough start, period. Ipswich Town, to start the season off, are really, really struggling despite the major investment. How on earth are we going to get through the Champions League phase in this kind of form? Well, I guess we'll find out in the next episode. That will do it for today's episode, guys. Big thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. I will return in the next one. Man, oh man, oh man. We're going to need to be a hell of a lot better heading into our first ever Champions League games in the save. No doubt about it. As big underdogs to qualify through the league phase. We'll have the League Cup and more games in the Premier League as well. And more scouting too. Have a great day, much love, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon.